Fellow modders, hello, this is Ellipsoid making this video on how to skeleton and bones using Zmodeler 226 build 983. I'm using this as an example to learn how to use what I'm preparing for the gear shift, I should say gear shifter for Lamborghini Insecto. So any tips that you can offer where I'm making a mistake or whatever the case may be, let me know. Anyway, let's begin. First we'll use a tube. Sorry about that. It's a bit big. We'll do that one. Let's use 3. Actually make it 4. Now that we have our tube, let's put it in the correct plane. I should say line it up correctly. So let's modify, move, click on the box, and move the tube. Line it up with the pivot and the lines. Looks almost there, but let's zoom in a little closer. Perfect. Anyway, more or less. Let's untick on the box, move, zoom out. Now that we have that settled, let's go on the right screen. Bring it up, tick on the word move, tick on the box, zoom in, untick Y, and just move it out. Move it to the line as close as possible. Doesn't have to be flawless. The point is you're just moving it to line it up correctly. And that's done. Untick the box, the word move, let's zoom out. Now, let's click on display, local axis, click on the box, reset to world, voila. Let's click on offset and center to object. Now we click on tube and that's done. I'll click on the word center to object, back to orientation, the box, local axis, blah blah blah. Let's minimize this. Now that we have this settled, let's bring up a skeleton. Actually, let's untick the Y for it. Let's go to create, skeleton, skeleton base. Put the skeleton over here. Blah. Now, let's get some bones. Untick the skeleton base word, click on bones, and click on the box. Let's untick the word tube. Go to the front view, zoom in. Before we bring up the bones, let's size up the skeleton base. I should say size up, that's it. What I mean is to line it up with the pivot. So we move it, zoom in closer. More or less. Reason why I'm working a bit fast is because my PC is not that powerful. So as you can hear that noise, that's the CPU working overtime, so to say. So now we go back. I shouldn't have done that. This is my first tutorial, more or less. Now we go to create skeleton, bone. Let's pick 2 bones along the x-axis. Here's one. Left click on the skeleton base and left click again. And voila. Right click. Go to the next side. 1, 2, left click. Voila. Right click. Now let's click on the y-axis. And let's bring up the last bone. Left click and left click again. And there goes your third bone. So tick back to the X. Untick the little box for bone, skeleton, and create. Now let's put this in order. Remember, this is the third one, so now we make it number 2. And there you go. From left to right is the first bone. This is the second bone. And there's the third bone. Now we have to set them up. So let's minimize the front. Let's take a look at the top view. Zoom in a little closer. Let's move, actually no, I'll leave the skeleton base there. What we need to move is the bones. We need to move them along the x-axis. Bring up the tube. Now we more or less have an idea where we're going to position the bones. So untick 2. Let's move it to the right. Let's move the third bone to the right. There goes 1. Let's click the first bone to the left. Bring up the 2. Okay. Let's move the third bone. First bone. Zoom in. Bring down the 2. Line it up with the pivot. That's perfect. Now we bring up the first bone. Bring it up. It's lined up with the pivot line. Untick Y. Now move the bone in and line it up with the 2. Flawless. More or less anyway. Now we go back to the third bone. We do the same thing. Move it to the tube. Line it up with the tube. Bring it up along the y-axis. Untick the x-axis. We more or less have it lined up. Now we need to line up the third bone. So let's minimize the front view. Untick bone. The tube. Let's go up to the top view and just check things. Okay, that looks good. So now we go to the right view. it up and line it up. There it is. Minimize. Let's bring up the tube. Let's turn this around so you can see everything is lined up. This is moving forward, as you can see. I'm highlighting. I should say I'm moving the cursor towards my right. That's going forward. Okay. Now let's untick the word move. Close modify. Let's bring this. Let's zoom out the front view. Zoom in a little bit the top view. You'll see why in a minute. Zoom in on the right view a little bit. Okay, now in the user view, go to properties, vertices, format, highlight bones. Since we're using 3 bones, 1, 2, 3. Assign, okay, blah blah. Now, bind mesh. Bring this down. Click on the right view. Click on skeleton mesh. And join it with the tube. Voila. Now, over here in the, I forgot what this section is called, EZC model. You guys might know the name. I don't remember at the moment. Let's check the IDs on the bones to make sure that things are okay. Oh, we haven't given them an ID. Okay, I should have done that earlier. Set ID 1. ID number 2. And ID number 3. Zoom in a little and let's check the IDs. 1, 2, 3. Good. We're good here. Now that this is ready, click on the X view. And we'll start with bone number 1. Actually, no, hold on a minute. Let's untick this bind. And let's take this one. No, wait a minute. I remember now. Current bone. That's it. As you can see, sometimes it does it automatically. It goes straight into the first bone, which is this one. This is number 2. And this is number 3. Since we started with that, let's vertex paint. Let's paint the vertices. Okay. As you can see, we're going to use, for bone number 1, we're going to use these vertices here. Okay. Let's start. There they are. They turn to blue. Now we go to surface, paint, bones weight, click on the box, highlight the number, add 100, and blah blah blah. Let's start painting the vertices. Now notice how I highlighted one, right? So you count down 4 as you're left clicking. 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's number 2. 4, 3, 2, 1. It's number 3. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's number 4. I'm trying to highlight the vertex. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. You could do another pass. You see how red is getting? Let me zoom in closer so you can see. There you go. Now you know what to do. I don't need to count anymore. Just mentally count it. I'll do it one more time. Left click. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you do it mentally now. I don't need to repeat myself. Now we move on to the second one. Click on this button. There it is. See? There it is. Bone number 2. Okay? Now let's go vertex paint these vertices. 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't mind the silence, just continue counting mentally. That's what I'm doing right now. That's why you haven't heard me say a word. Okay? Just keep rotating so you can bring up the other vertices. You can see them as they're getting red. That means you're painting them. You're adding weight. See how they're getting red? That means you're adding weight to the vertices. Let's move to the third bone. To make certain that it is a third bone, I was trying to highlight it to show you, but it already did it, so let's just paint the vertices. remember, as soon as you highlight the vertices, left click and count 4, 3, 2, 1. See how it's getting red? That means you're adding weight to the vertices. Just turning it around so you can see. Highlight, left click, 4, 3, 2, 1. Highlight, left click, 4, 3, 2, 1. You turn it around. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, highlight, left click with the mouse. 4, 3, 2, 1. I believe this should be the last one. Highlight, left click, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's the last vertice so you can see that it's getting red. Highlight, left click, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you can see, as I counted, I was getting red. Okay, here's one more. Highlight, left click, 4, 3, 2, 1. You see as I'm counting how the vertex is getting weight painted. One more time. Highlight, left click, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're done. Now, we untick. Uncheck bones weight, paint, surface. Take this one. Go back to object mode. Now comes the final crucial element of this, the orientation of the axis. Now this is aimed at J-Doug, Oleg, Lambo Mantis. Guys, let me know if I'm making a mistake here. I'm just double checking the IDs. This is where I might be right or I might be wrong. So here we go. You go to display, local axis, click on the little box. We'll start with number 1, bone ID number 1. So we left click with the mouse. Now, offset, that's what I don't have a clue as to what to do, so I'll reset to world. Because if you reset to parent, the axis, this axis here goes back to the parent, and that's not what we're trying to do. So I'll go and reset to world. Left click on the bone, and there it goes. Let's uncheck this orientation. Let's go to bone number 2. Reset to parent, which is the skeleton base that I'm hiding. Highlighting. And let's left click on the bone number 2. 1. Offset. And reset to world. Now we'll do the same thing with bone number 3. Notice how the axis change. Let's go to offset, reset to world. Voila. Now, let's uncheck this. Back to orientation. Untick the box. Untick local axis. Display. And let's look at what happens when you click on 3D. Well, look at here. Wow. Talk about the devil's horns. Now let's see what happens when we rotate. Rotating. We're rotating on the . rotating on the right view. Remember, we're going forward, so forward is up. Guys, let me know if this is correct. If I did this correct, let me know. It looks like I did. Finally. But I was making errors before. Let's do it from another point of view. Looks like things are moving the way they're supposed to. Anyway, nonetheless, J-Doug and Oleg and Lambo Mantis and everyone else in the forum at NoGripRacing.com, let me know if this is correct or not. And number two, any tips that you can offer J-Doug on how to create the gear shift and the shift gator for Lamborghini Insecto, which I will release for shift 1 and 2. Again, this is Ellipsoid from NoGripRacing.com. So long.